Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV's coverage of Week 8 of ESEA Season 25. Tonight we got Velocity Esports clawing at their chances of a playoff spot. Their opponent sits comfortably in first place. It's froyotech on the other side of the field. My name is Cornpop. I'm joined tonight by Marxist and Nicell on production. I also want to mention real quick that we've got a game going on Team Fortress, or on TFTV 2 right now. So if this game is not to your taste, you can go check that one out as well. It's Meat Market taking on No Mercy. But without further ado, Marxist, let's get talking about this current match and the players involved.
All right, well, I'll just start the roster rundown while we're at it. So I'll take Froyo. We got Shade on Medic, Assassin on Demo Man, Bot Mode and Blaze are your soldiers, Eric and Banny are your scouts.
Yeah, and on Velocity, Bear is the medic tonight. Jarrett is on Demo Man. Kryptonite is their pocket. Garbuglio is subbing for the last time on Roamer. And then Scissor and Shamu are their scouts at the moment.
Yep, and we should bring up that Garbuglio has said on the forums that this is his last game with Velocity after having left Froyo. So maybe he can unlock the Vincent documents and allow them to beat Froyo and secure their place.
Yeah, this is kind of the storyline of the match, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's earlier on in the season, at the beginning of the season, Garbuglio left EVL Gaming to join froyotech with the assumption that froyotech would be competing at the I-61 LAN at the end of August. Then froyotech announced that they would not be attending that LAN, so he left the team. He stopped playing competitive TF2, and they picked up... They picked bot mode instead, yes. Killing Hibbleton in the process. And so now he's come back just to sub in while Marmalou is away. Garbuglio has come back to help out his buddies on Velocity Esport and maybe take down Froyo. And this is an important match. All of the matches, I guess, from here on out are important for Velocity. They are really in a tight battle with Feint Gaming for that final playoff spot at the moment. So this should be interesting. If they don't win this, they're still looking for rounds, and that's what's important because it very well may come down to who has the most rounds at the end of the day between Feint Gaming and Velocity. So even a 5-4 loss or a 5-3 loss isn't the worst thing ever for Velocity. That's certainly still a good scoreline for them. They'd be happy with that.
Indeed. Any kind of rounds will do right now, because since they're both playing the same teams,
yes,
Feint and Velocity, you pretty much just need to do better than Feint does if you're Velocity in this case.
Yeah, so this week, so Velocity, they fight Froyo this week, and they fight Meat Market next week, and then Feint Gaming fight Froyo and Meat Market next week, and those are all the matches they have left, not including forfeit wins. So it's really down to the wire. After the forfeit wins, they'll have the same amount of wins. So it's just, if I win 2 of my next matches and you don't, I'll make it. If I make 1 and you make 0, then I'll make it, etc., etc. If it does come down to rounds, though, it's looking really good for Feint Gaming to have, I think, like an 8-round advantage or like a 6-round advantage. So it's these games. It's the game against Froyo, it's the game against Meat Market that Velocity needs to be pulling in rounds for, just in case they happen to tie. I think actually if Feint Gaming win even one of their matches and get 5 points and have less wins overall, that 5 points will push them over the maximum number of rounds Velocity will get. So they have to be hoping that if it does go to a tie, that it's either a 0-win tie, or it's like a Feint only won their match with 3 points or something tie.
Yeah, and another thing to bring up here are the maps, because
yes,
Metalworks is a bit more of a wild card than Process, which is next week's map. That's how we'll end the invite season, and Process is where Feint will have to play Froyo. So right now, I would say Velocity have a chance here of securing quite a number of more rounds. Unless they totally blow it here. And we're going to go live, Cornpop, so we'll see. Will Velocity blow it on Metalworks and cost themselves a chance? Or maybe they'll even beat Froyo.
Yeah, that's the question. Green text on the screen. It is week 8 of ESEA Season 25. Velocity Esports versus froyotech. Velocity in red, Froyo in the blue. Rolling on to this first mid-fight of the game. Jarrett looks like he's going to be in here quite a bit faster than Habib, so he did a little bit better on that rollout, so he should be looking good to start this one off, but we'll see how it develops. Big bomb from bot mode. He's not actually going very far, though, just high, taking that fall damage. It's going to be Kryptonite who goes across, and Blaze, the first one actually aggressing. He's falling down on some players and does get the frag onto the Demoman. That's nice, but they got to return onto that, so it's a 5v5. Just as I say that, Scissor does go down to Banny across the point. Shamu is running across it too, but it looks like he will die, but he wants that frag on the bottom mode. He can't get a Garbuglio now in on Shade. Does just get that frag right at the end of his life, so good by him, but unfortunately the rest of his team died, and it's only Bear running all the way back to last.
Yeah, and Metalworks, some teams have a lot of trouble pushing on this area of the map out of 2 and into mid. But we'll see what they do, because that kill on Shade from Garbuglio, his former teammate, did net them an Uber advantage. So we'll see what they're going to do. They're going to lead this Uber out here onto 2. Scout makes it out, but the med cannot follow yet. There we go. They're finally through. It looks like Froyo's just going to be content to pressure here, and we're actually pretty deep in here. Both Velocity Scouts already taking up position in the alley.
Yeah, Froyo don't have to do anything too crazy right now. I say that as the Uber charge does get popped off onto Shamu and Kryptonite. They're running forward, but they're not getting anything with this Marxist. All of Froyo players have backed off. I'm not entirely sure if that was a force or if they just thought they could get more than they did, but they're going to get this midpoint off of it and not a whole lot else. We'll see what froyotech want to do as they re-aggress. Banny on the flank is going to be able to pick up one frag on a Scissor who he met inside his own thing, and it was actually a crits creep play. I didn't even catch that till it was almost over, but they got 3 frags with that, and they're going to continue pushing forward. Bear doing a good job staying alive so far in this match. He shouldn't go down anytime soon as they're running away here. As I say that, bot mode's bombing in. Banny's still chasing them out, and Banny could get the frag on a Bear. Bear's at 92. No, they're going to get out.
Yeah, I really like that play out of Shade there. I called it, back when I played, the disadvantage crits. And normally, people tell you, go crits when you know you're going to have an advantage, where you died first. But in that scenario, you just force them, and it almost worked out perfectly, because you saw Velocity really stacked that point to try to cap it, because they knew Shade was going to be close to Uber, so they couldn't try anything more. And had the crits come out when they were all stacked up on it, it'd be game over.
Yeah, so now how do... Oh, it looks like Velocity are going to take the initiative here. They know they're Uber against crits, so they want to bank on this and try to get some frags while they're invincible, and the other team is not, but it's not going well for them. Here comes the crits creep play now. They're shooting forward with Habib, but he's not hitting anything either. Looks like both these Ubers were pretty failed. Scissors in a 1v1 against Eric, but he's not going to win that one. Caught off guard. Garbuglio's going in behind, though, and he should find the enemy flank, but he's going to get taken down. Eric, again, got him as well. So now with 2 down, they have to back off. froyotech are going to be able to retake the second point and maybe even push it into last. Plays pretty aggressive on a Jarrett. Jarrett is having to jump away now, but Kryptonite is going to end up going down, trading with Eric as he bombed in there. And there's still a soldier in, but Shamu does take him down, not able to kill Velocity's Demo Man. And I think froyotech might have been stalled just enough there for Velocity to get a footing.
Well, the trouble, the crits are still very, very close to the Uber. And I think they're going to end up with a crits Uber trade here. So we'll see what they're going to do. Either they think they've still got advantage off the crits and they're going to try to go with it. There it is. And the Uber is going to need it, which is usually a disaster zone for the crits. And they are getting destroyed by Garbuglio here. Going to get 2 kills off that. Going to pick up a 3rd. Banny will manage to kill Kryptonite, however. But that's kind of the pocket sad zone there as you're trying to chase those guys before they leave the area. And now we're basically reset as Bear is building basically just as fast as Shade is.
Yeah, it was a great play by Velocity to be able to come in there, and a little bit poor counting on Ubers from Shade. But, you know, that's how it goes. Velocity are going to get this middle point off it. Garbuglio might be a little cut out in flank, but he should get this pack and be okay. And now Shade is forever, until he dies or switches off it, he's going to be on this crits. And they do have about a 30% advantage, so they can use it, but it's all about how well Bear's been building and how well they expect it. I think they want to go with it, but I'm not sure. They're still just kind of pacing around. Maybe not. Maybe they don't want to go off this advantage. It didn't work well for them last time. They didn't actually have one because now it's 100% from both sides. They've lost their chance.
Yeah, in general, you do get an advantage from crits, although that is somewhat marred now by crossbow building if you're doing that, but they just chose not to do it. They are going to pick up a frag here on the bot mode as well as Blaze, and now the crits comes out. Are they going to get any kills with it? Scissor falls to Eric, not crits. And then Habib's just going to die off of it as well. And they'll pick up a Banny Scout, so it's just Shade. And he's going to get wiped out as well. So that's a full wipe there on Froyo. And Velocity moving through, not using the crits correctly. Spawn camp is in progress. And
they're gonna get it.
Should be the round.
Wow, so Velocity Esports taking the first round off of froyotech. That's really big. If they can keep this up, if they actually beat froyotech, that improves their chances of making playoffs exponentially. I mean, Feint Gaming really have to work hard and get lucky to make playoffs if Velocity win this one. We're coming out of the second mid fight now. That was a 6-minute round. Really well played from Velocity Esports. We'll see Jarrett and Habib getting here about the same time this time, so no beefs on the rollout this time. We'll see. Nice charge shot action from across the map. Hits Bear and Jarrett. That's going to be really good for them, but Eric is going in pretty deep. We'll see if anybody shuts him down. Scissors onto him, but he's just going to back off after taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to be okay. Garbuglio in with the bomb now onto Eric. Doesn't really find Shade. He's in a lot of trouble. Probably won't win. Jarrett, meanwhile, on the other side does go down to the bombing Blaze, who was in on that one. Kryptonite now over bombing the other enemy team. We'll see if he can get anything in there. It does look like he's going to get Eric, but trades his life for it. Not the greatest trade in the world. froyotech going to take this mid.
Yeah, and just for note, Shade is on Uber now presently, so this is going to be an even Uber, and Shamu gets wiped out right to start, and Bear gets knocked down and is having trouble getting up, and that's just going to be the end of their Uber. And Shade did not pop during that because of the bounce off that walkway there, I'll call it, or the bridge, and so they're just going to roll in here. Froyo is with Uber. And we'll see what they're going to try to do. Shamu is on Sniper. Blaze is going to go down to Garbuglio already. Uber's popped off. Garbuglio's going to get Habib as well. Flying around behind, finally dies. They are going to get Bear as well. But the cap can't go down because Velocity is all over too. So they're going to have to come back. They're going to get Eric as well. Jarrett finally falls. And Froyo may now cast second. But there are scouts on them. And I think they've successfully defended second with the faux back cap. Kryptonite flanking around through lobby even, but gonna get forced back.
Ooh, so, Garbuglio proving who has the bigger brain in that. Did a really nice flank, got two kills, and then also Jarrett and Scissor flanked around and completely nullified froyotech's push. So really well done there. froyotech, though, they do have this Uber advantage still, about 25-30%. They could do something with that. We'll see how the building goes and how lucky they feel with this, how well they're counting these Ubers. They are rotating around to the left-hand side now, so if they're going to go, I think they will. 100% now as they're leading in on Banny. They look like they want to go big bomb in from bot mode as well. That's going to be nice by them, but look at Kryptonite and the other soldier, Garbuglio, as well. They're jumping around, but they're not really doing anything. They're going to force the Uber charge out of Shade, but they're going to get 2 frags for it anyways, and the point, and Bear pop, so this is going all right for froyotech. They just need to not lose too many players. As I say that, Blaze does go down to Garbuglio, gets credit for that kill. They're going to get the second point. I think we're going to see things slow down at this point.
Yeah, it was a bit of an unfortunate pop there. I think Bear thought that Froyo were like ready to die there, all clotted up, but it didn't happen. Garbuglio and bot mode are essentially going to trade here. We'll see if bot mode decides to go to an off class since the Ubers are basically directly even. Interestingly enough, Velocity not presenting any off classes, sticking with the cookie cutter, as it were, here on last. And no, bot mode doesn't off class, so we'll see what's in store.
Yeah, strange. They're still just coming up in here. Finally, okay, Scissor's changing back to Sniper, and I like this play a lot because Scissor is a very good Sniper player, and he's going to be hitting some shots if froyotech give him the opportunity. He just saw Habib open that shutter, but not quick enough. We'll see who's going to make the first move. What froyotech response is going to be sending Blaze in, and Blaze very good at these bombs, but not today. Garbuglio shuts him down. Kind of had a bad bomb from the start there, Marxist. We'll see if there's any sort of a response.
Well, they are going to get Kryptonite off of the attempted counter-sack. Sizz also goes in for the big shot of his life play there. Maybe a miscommunication. Air shots coming down on bot mode. Going to prevent him from doing anything. Jarrett's going to get dropped, essentially. And that Shade Uber, still Farmer Brown milking it there. And now here comes the Froyo Uber. Velocity having a lot of trouble stopping this. Froyo already putting stickies and time on the point.
Yeah,
and he's just going to cap it.
That was the classic Froyo dominance we're used to seeing in a match like this. They came in, they didn't even really have any sort of advantage, but they were playing a little bit smarter. They had much better positioning, and they were able to get the frags. And by the time the Ubers were popped off, Bear didn't know what hit him. He only had 1-2 players around him, and it was kind of over at that point. But we'll see. There's still a lot of time for Velocity to come back. They already got 1 round in this, which is good. They need to get some more. Jarrett exchanging stickies with Habib, getting a little bit better end of that deal. We'll see through this mid-fight. Garbuglio going to be going real hard, real fast, right onto Shade, but does get shut down. Got a couple good rockets, a little bit of damage down. We'll see if anybody follows up on that. This Blaze, however, who's right in onto Jarrett, does get that frag, which is nice by him. He is going to, again, die for it, and Habib's a little bit caught out. Couple scouts all around him. We'll see if he can back off. No, not quite. Shamu is going to die for that anyways. Scissor in the back lines. Kryptonite now bombing in on bot mode, and Shade. Beautiful rocket by him to just sneak that one in. Doesn't matter, though. Marxist Velocity wipe all their players. Shade just kind of the silver lining.
Yeah, Froyo is just doing straight out better on these mids, and that one really came down to kind of a weird play from Habib where he didn't come out as expected. But now we're going to see Soldier try to take down Bear. Not going to make it. That was bot mode. Luckily for Bear, that shutter door was there to protect him. And he actually has a very sizable advantage right now. It is Uber still. And we'll see what they decide to do with it. They do get Eric as well. And because he died off round, or off the timer, that is a really long respawn time.
Yeah, they caught him hiding, and he wasn't being too sneaky there. Blaze is going behind, though, and he's in the 1v1 against Scissor. Scissor just going to win that one. Great job by him. Banny also going to end up dying to Shamu. And Velocity, they're just going to walk in and take this one. This Uber has grown exponentially. I mean, so big, 40% at this point. And there's still a player in deep. Garbuglio was looking for something crazy, but Eric was able to take him down. So nothing great there. Still 25% Uber. It's going to whittle down before they can push the second point. I'm not even sure if they had that. They knew they had that big of an Uber charge, but still, great job by Velocity eSports. Now, we'll see froyotech. They've got, like, a spawn advantage for 1 second. Garbuglio coming up on Spy, though. Ooh, is that real? It is. That should be interesting.
Yep, that is going to be the play here. It is a stalemate over mid to second, which is common in our game from time to time. This one I don't think is that hard to break, but a Garbuglio Spy play right now is pretty unexpected, I would say. And so they're kind of trying to use the element of surprise. The trouble with this is that there are a lot of blind corners for Garbuglio. And also he's got a hop up blind shade, but he's etrangeing, and no, he doesn't get him. But he takes him down to 33 health. And that was mighty scary. If they had collaborated there, that'd have probably been a drop seed for Shade.
Yeah, Shade was, I don't know if he definitely didn't know there was a spy, but he was in a very anti-spy place way up on that little box that he was on. So poor Garbuglio isn't going to be successful today, but we'll see what the counterplay is from froyotech. Blaze was in a position to bomb, but he's going to back off. Doesn't want any of that just yet. Garbuglio is back up on Soldier as expected. Double spy, not that common. So we'll see froyotech if they want to respond. They are kind of on the back foot here. It is still tied 1-1, and froyotech are in second, or on second. Here comes a soldier bomb in, though. It is Kryptonite, a double soldier bomb. A beautiful pipe from Habib to shut that first one down, and bot mode cleans up the other one. So froyotech easily taking that 2-pick advantage. Shade did go down pretty low, but he didn't have to pop, so it's all good for Froyo.
Yeah, Shade took that double bomb and would have dropped again if not for one more rocket. They are going to Uber exchange here, and Blaze is going to get dropped, so it's a 2-scout Uber, a sort of modified chariot going on here on the ground. And Banny is going to go down as well. Shamu gets credit for that kill. And oh, bot mode is going to try to edge bug, but he fails. And Eric is going to die as well. Habib is totally screwed. And there's Shade still hopping around, but he's going to kill himself. He'll commit the seppuku and not allow Velocity the satisfaction.
Yeah, big Shamu there. I believe he got 3 kills in that one, so great job by him. We'll see Banny out on the point. He is going to go down. Only one on his team who is still out there. Blaze tries to go out one at a time. He dies. They do get 1 frag for Froyo on a Garbuglio, but it's not going to matter. Velocity have yet to be down in this match.
Yeah, and despite their poor mids as well.
Yeah.
That's what's really impressing me about Velocity's play here. Because there are some misplays from Froyo, and Velocity's really taking advantage of them.
We'll see if they can continue on this middle. Of course, they haven't been playing great on these mids, as you've said, but if they can pick it up here, that would be nice. Of course, the half ends when the team gets 3 points, so this could be an important round. Eric's actually a little too aggressive underneath the point. He's going to get shot down by Shamu. Garbuglio has bombed into the enemy team, got Shade very low, and Shamu's able to carry up onto that. Shamu's going so huge right now before he just died to Kryptonite. He got all 3 frags, and still froyotech, they're trying to get this frag on a bear. They're going to find nothing. They're all dying.
There we go. That's the mid you want to see from Velocity. And the big misplay there from Froyo is, if you're watching this, you know, you think, well, what was different in this mid from every other mid? And the truth is, Garbuglio bombed in super duper deep and then just hung out behind him. And way too many Froyo players looked at useless, no rockets loaded Garbuglio for way too long. And when they turned around, all of Velocity had basically bullied them out of mid.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them so far. Big Uber ad, 50% now from Bear. They are going to be looking to push in this. Banny is on Sniper and Eric on Heavy. We'll see if they can get anything crazy. It looks like they're just going to pop the Uber charge off. No shenanigans from Velocity. They're pushing everybody back in the spawn, but they haven't actually gotten any frags just yet. But look at Kryptonite. He's in on the down with the Heavy's taking him out. There's another player forward, but he ended up just dying. That was Scissor. There goes another Garbuglio taken down by Eric. This is a colossally disastrous push. There goes Bear. That's the big one. Blaze able to sneak in and find the frag onto him. Only Jarrett and Shamu alive, and they are running for their lives. Is Shamu going to hide? It looks like he will. See if he can... No, dies to a trap.
Yeah, that's when you go into a last like that, you've got to have some sort of a plan. And I think Velocity just got ahead of themselves there. Like, they knew they had the Uber advantage. They needed to use it. Here comes the force onto Shade, though. So that's at least a good one. Will he escape? Garbuglio's going to go down, and the Kryptonite's going to get trapped. He made a valiant effort to try to use all that jump map experience to make the great escape. But unfortunately can't do it. Froyo is going to push around this alleyway side, and we're probably going to see the patented double soldier. And there it goes. So there's probably no hold here for Velocity.
Yeah, their best bet is to sit back on last with their Uber ad and maybe try to push out on it, maybe just try to park the bus a little bit here. They're in the lead. They can't park to the end of the game because the round timer will run out first, but we'll see. They might just want to sit here. They have 30 ads, 20 ad. Yeah, probably aren't going to push out on that one, Marxist.
Yeah, this last is really treacherous to push out of because you cross into this intermediary lobby area, and there are lots of little corners and stuff for sticky traps or people hiding to either backcap you or get an unexpected frag. And so unless you have a pretty sizable advantage, most teams just don't bother with it.
Yeah, they do have Scissor up on Sniper now, and he was getting aggressive on that right-hand side, but because there's nobody to pressure him, there was also nobody for him to shoot. So he's rotated over this left-hand side now, and we'll see if he can get any crazy picks. Took a shot, but wasn't able to connect with anything. Took too much spam, has to back off. Like I said, Scissor is a very good sniper, and if anybody's going to hit a shot tonight, he will. He's still going to be poking around now, looking for something. Blaze also could be looking for something. Yup, he is. He's going to be jumping in right now. Garbuglio does get a frag in the meantime on Eric, and there we go. Scissor getting the air shot onto Blaze with that no scope. So 2 picks now for froyotech. They might have to back off to second, or to mid.
Yeah, and they're definitely coming out here. So they do have 2 picks, so I'm okay. This doesn't apply to the you automatically lose in the event that you force. But Kryptonite is going to die. Bot mode will essentially trade out, and they're going to take this fight for a little bit. See what they can get. They're waiting on Jarrett to kind of lead it through. Blaze is going to bomb in. Eric is going to pick up Garbuglio, though. And, well, Blaze actually dies to Shamu over in the flank, but Jarrett finally dies. That he was sort of the crux, the linchpin of that push, and now everything is falling apart for Velocity. There's a giant tide of froyotech on them, and I don't think they can stop it.
Yeah, I didn't like that fight. Velocity, it was kind of tilted in their favor, that fight, but then I kind of got, man, it was looking sticky. They kind of bet it all on black, because if they lost it as they did, they were going to lose the round, and now it's tied at 2, so froyotech, they're still putting their foot on the gas. They're not going to roll over to Velocity, but Velocity, they need to keep their spirits up because these rounds could start to weigh in on them. They know a lot is on the line tonight. froyotech, they almost couldn't care less how this match goes. Of course, they like their records, but we'll see. The double soldier bomb now blazes straight onto the entire combo, but does get shot down by Shamu. We'll see Garbuglio trying to do the same. He got a lot of damage on Khabib. We'll see if Kryptonite can follow up on it. Garbuglio and Kryptonite both staying alive. Does get shot down there. Jarrett also dying from froyotech's flank. They're killing everybody. Marxist, it's only Shamu. Shamu does get 1 frag, but not going to be able to get 5 more. Almost an ace from Froyo.
Yeah, very strong mid from them. Velocity were really bunched up in the alleyway there, and it made the bomb just super devastating to them. Soldiers always love to see that because it makes their TPM look a lot better. But we do have a sniper play, but he is caught out. Banny is hot on the case, and he is going to get that frag. So Froyo with a player and super uber advantage. We're probably going to see him go here. Oh, well, that Kryptonite takes that fully charged shot, too.
Yeah, there's a level 1 gun up by Garbuglio. I'm not sure that's going to do a whole lot, but we will see Eric and Banny leading the charge. The Chariot Uber into the enemy team's spawn area. They're pushing them all back now. They have gotten a frag on a Shamu. The gun also went down, but they traded for Banny, and there goes Eric as well. Blaze trying to jump around, do something onto this medic, but Bear's got the jukes at this point. It's going to be able to stay alive. There goes Blaze. They got Jarrett. Bot mode found the frag on him, and now froyotech. They're getting another frag onto Scissor, but it's too late. Marxist, Habib, and Shade are the only players left alive as Banny spawns up. They're going to be forced out of this. I don't even know how they lost that one.
Well, their scouts did a good job of pushing everybody out, but nobody else did anything. So the rest of the team was just really far behind and slow to get on that. I think if they'd have pressured the point, it would have been okay, but that was never communicated, and the soldiers aren't used to doing that. So here we go. They're going with the alley push. It is going to be Uber versus Uber, though. Maybe, if Shade chooses to make it so. There he goes. So they are going to have a ton of Uber here, and it's Habib's time to just rain damage down. But so far, nobody's dead. There goes Bear. They are getting swarmed here, but Habib is going to go down. So's Jarrett, Bot Mode, and Garbuglio. So, and I think Velocity is getting the worst end of this right now. There is one player back here in Kryptonite. He's going to pick up Eric. Will his luck continue? Because there's another scout on him, which is the last thing you want to see. Oh, he's being chased by Blaze, also using Cow Mangler. And Banny's finally going to pick up that frag as they're a 3 down in front. And it looks like Blaze is actually going to try to do some shenanigans, but nobody's there even to open the door.
Yeah, that was a white for just a moment there as everybody on Velocity died. So now, basically the same situation we had last time, Marxist, with Froyo have big Uber advantage. No player advantage, I suppose, this time. But this is another push they shouldn't lose. We'll see how it goes, though. Of course, TF2, anything can happen. Velocity eSports, they are looking to hold on to this. Only 50 adders, they're going to be popping in this left-hand side, leading on Banny and Habib this time. They gotta take down the Garbuglio heavy, and he's staying alive quite well so far, trying to eat these arrows, but does miss one, and that's going to cause the death of the heavy man. There goes the demo as well. Medic can't keep anybody alive, but here comes a big bomb, and actually from Kryptonite, he did a lot of damage, forced a lot of people back, but didn't get too many frags, and Blaze is now forcing onto the medic. It's only Bear alive. Can he kill 5 players, Marxist? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a rough play for the medic. So Froyo will take us to halftime. Pretty good game out of Velocity there, but Froyo with the stronger mids. It keeps the deal with letting Froyo win so many mids is they're a very good team, and the more opportunities you give that very good team to win, the more likely it is that you're not gonna succeed in your video game playing. So they've got to figure out what's going on with that. As far as like regular motion play, though, Velocities, I think, has the upper end. It's almost like Froyo are a step behind where they normally should be. They're popping Ubers a lot more slowly than they typically do, and they're initiating pushes pretty slowly as well. I don't know if that's they're having a bad day or they're uncomfortable on this map.
Yeah, and I think Velocity, the key for them going into the second half is they just need to not let this last round get to them. Because this last round, they wiped like twice. They lost it, obviously. But they were playing really good for most of this half. And if they can continue that, they can keep that up, they have a really good chance of beating Froyo. Certainly, they can get a couple more rounds in here. And that's really what their goal is. I want to talk about stats, but I think I just heard the announcer say 1. So that's going to have to wait. Who needs numbers anyway, Marxist?
Yeah, well, I'll run you down really quick just to see what's going on. Banny is your top damager. The top fragger so far in the game is Shamu with 25 as well.
Yeah, I can see that. Shamu's been playing really well so far. Got some nice streaks going as we're coming up the first mid-fight of the second half. Jarrett getting here a little faster than Habib. Habib taking a bit of early damage as well, so He's going to have to get healed up by his medic. It's going to be Blaze bombing. Nope, turns around, decides he doesn't like that. Took a bit too much damage. Garbuglio, though, is going to be committing, and he's looking for Shade, but Shade's very far back. Gets it anyways right after his death. Nice job by him. They're going to find Blaze as well. Bot mode dies. Oh, so many players are going down. Marxist, Garbuglio, the only casualty so far on Velocity. They find Eric. Kryptonite got that one. Banny's trying to hide, and he actually finds the back of a couple of scouts, but turn around. Scissor's going to be able to take him down with a nice meat shot, and Habib on 52 HP on his own second is going to be the sole survivor of froyotech in that mid.
Well, I'll explain what happened there. So when you have both teams playing as passively as they did there, whichever team loses the first player and initiates solo aggression is probably going to lose, because that player will get vaporized. And that's exactly what happened to Blaze. He went in, nobody else really went in, and Blaze got pretty much wiped out, unable to really do anything. And then immediately Velocity pushed, they double bomb both soldiers and push it as deep as they can. But here comes Uber. Can they get out of this without flubbing it? Level 1 sentry guns going, but Shamu manages to put quite a bit of time on the point. But it doesn't look like they're going to get it. So unfortunate. They just did not get the kills. There is a player hiding, but Sizz will get found as well.
Yeah, they focused the cap pretty hard there, but they got a lot of time on it. You can see right now it's about half. It's about 3/4 when they first were getting on it, but unfortunately they did lose kind of the DM battles there, and froyotech were able to focus down those kills. So they're going to live to see not a tied game, at least not yet. We'll see. It's a big ad for Shade at the moment, and they're looking to push it a mid. I'm interested to see what Velocity's counterplay to this is. We see Garbuglio's going in pretty deep, but finds the back of bot mode. Nice job by him. One rocket takes him down, and now he's joined by Scissor in this inner area, stuffing Froyo into this door. Eric's going to run out, though, as Velocity does back off in that respect. We see a bomb in by Garbuglio, still just jumping around. Doesn't find any players, but he's halted Froyo for now. Allowed Bear to get up to 60% Ubers, so if they keep playing like this, they might be able to stall to even Ubers.
Yeah, they're at 70 some odd right now, which is working out for them really well. That's a good way to approach it. You can either decide not to attempt to contest at all, or try and get some players that have maybe moved up a little too soon. Yeah, and that's it. Froyo's just going to let it go, and they will end up having Uber advantage. So, like I said, Velocity's motion play or transition play so far tonight has been really good relative to Froyo.
Yeah, Velocity's back in the driver's seat at this point. I mean, it's practically, well, 100% even, and they're in control of middle, so it's basically on them what they want to do. froyotech could initiate, but Scissor's actually the one running in through the main door, and he's going to get punished from that. Bot mode does take him down. I bet he's up on an off class, assuming froyotech don't just initiate right now. They're sending a lot of players through this flank area, and they're actually getting some damage down onto Jarrett. That could be really big, but he has backed off. Bear now under some pressure. There are a lot of players dying back and forth from both teams. froyotech seemingly on the better end of things, but we'll see. It is Garbuglio starting the back cap. Banny is going to have to go back for him. Shamu, meanwhile, the only person currently defending Bear. Garbuglio does lose that 1v, I think it was 2, to Eric and Banny. So now there's 3 players from Velocity sitting on this middle point, and froyotech's got 5. They're going to run in and take this point from them.
Indeed they are, and they're pretty much going to get all their spawns except for Garbuglio, who just recently died. So that'll turn out okay for them. Froyo may try to make this move. No, they're going to pause. Shade actually jumped up in the air and stopped moving forward. So I think the brakes were applied there. We'll see what they're going to try to do. Most teams like to use this alleyway for all things suicide and pushing. So we'll see what they do. Blaze is calling for that med quite a bit, so I think it'll be him.
Shamu's watching it, though. He's prepared for this, and Blaze is going to try his best anyways. Does get the night. He sees the players there. He just runs away. Eric also dying to Scissor on the other part of the map as Scissor pressured forward, so that was a good job by him. 1 player adds, and we pause the game.
Wah, wah. Well, so there we have it. The game is paused. I don't know why. And we won't see what occurred to pause the game for about 2 minutes, but hopefully it's not a tragedy. I also apologize to Velocity because I complimented them on something, and then they immediately failed all my expectations by making a really bad defensive mid. So, you know, I cursed them. It's my fault. Now they won't go to the top 4.
Caster's curse being placed onto this team. Marxist, you should be ashamed. This is an important match for them. But regardless, what do you think their position is right now? I mean, they have one pick, right? Do you think they can do anything with this? Think they can sack... I mean, they'll probably try something, right? Maybe sack one of their own in. I know Scissor's itching to get onto that sniper class. But we'll see. If they just take this? What would you do?
On this point.
Yeah.
Now, typically, I'm a proponent of the solo Uber pocket soldier because I'm old. And that's how we used to do things. So you initiate there, you try to get as good at Uber as you can, and then you back up into the arms of your team, and then hopefully the other team over pursues and you kill them with your superior numbers. Or you just have the best Uber, and then your pocket just gets frags. So those are your two outcomes that you're looking for. But on this map, the solo Uber pocket doesn't work very well. Because you either have to do a really long jump from the left side of the map, or contend with this bridge area. And the trouble with pushing over that bridge is it's very easy to knock you off of said bridge, and then your Uber is screwed. Especially if your medic gets knocked off of said bridge. Then a lot more than just your Uber is screwed, because your medic is almost certainly gonna die. So on this map, I'm actually a big proponent of double bombing both soldiers when you have advantage and just pop Uber on both of them. And what you get out of that is right now, especially if you can see in the pause, velocity is really pressed up, so it would be very easy for both of those soldiers to cut off all possible escape routes for Shade. So he's gonna force. And then you just find, the two of you just find whoever isn't Ubered and kill them, and then try to back up back into the alley, so where the rest of your team's gonna be, and hope everything turns out okay. But that's the play that I like on Metalworks for one down advantage pushing.
Right. Well, word on the street, word in Twitch chat, is that it was Habib's power going out, which was the reason for the pause. But apparently, it's back now. So hopefully this doesn't last too much longer. That would be bad for froyotech to lose their demo man. I expect we will see him disconnect sometime the next 90 seconds. So that could be a game changer. Obviously, the demo man, a very important class, especially for not letting the other enemy team push into you. So if he goes down at a crucial moment, this could be good for velocity. I don't know if they'll take advantage of it. Usually there's some sort of a gentleman rule. Well, I say usually. Sometimes there's a bit of a gentleman rule where you don't push off disconnected players, but sometimes they just don't care. And especially in a match like this, I mean, it's all good in the rules. So Velocity Esports, they think they have a chance of beating froyotech. They think they have a chance of almost certainly guaranteeing themselves a spot in playoffs. They might just take that. I also want to mention real quick that the other match we had going on, Meat Market versus No Mercy, was over in like 21 minutes. It was a 5-1 for No Mercy.
Yikes. Well, yeah. Rest in peace, Meat Market. So we were hoping that Meat Market would put up more of a fight against these two teams, because they had the opportunity to be spoilers and single-handedly ruin someone's season. And I figured that would be just the kind of thing that Meat Market would like to do, but apparently not so much. So unfortunate. But yeah, here we are waiting on Habib. I will relate a story about my power going out during a match, and we'll see if that causes the power to come back on.
Nice.
So we're playing Viaduct. My team is up 3-0 because we were great at Viaduct. And my power goes out. Mind you, I'm the medic, so that's a disaster. That's like the worst possible thing that could happen. So I'm in total darkness because it's nighttime, and I'm staring at my screen, trying not to break all the blood vessels in my eyes because I was having a great game and I was really mad. The power stays out for about 20 minutes, and I'm like, well, they've had to unpause by now, surely. Like, something's gone on. So then my power comes back on. I log onto my computer, get into Mumble, and I say, hey, I'm back, and they all cheer. And I notice that there are only 5 players in Mumble other than me. So they didn't have a sub. And then I get back into the game server. They do the pause to let me get in. And then I see that what my team has done is just continue to play anyways without a medic. And it's now 3-3. And I said, why didn't you just not play without a med? And my scout goes, we don't need a stinking medic. and they'd had the point for about 1:50 without the other team getting any. So I guess he was right, except for those 3 lost rounds.
And your story worked, Marxist, because the pause is over and Kryptonite is jumping all over the place and he's straight onto Shade. What a beautiful bomb by him. Botmo takes him with a shotgun, but that was crazy jump map skills by him to be able to get that force off, and that's going to leave Bear with 100% advantage. It is Garbuglio? Okay, I thought he was floating in the air, but Garbuglio was just standing on a grate right now, so he should be fine with that nice Uber advantage and Habib's looming disconnect. This should be good for Velocity, we'll see, but Blaze is in on the medic, but Bear's got the jukes, and there's still Eric on him, but he drops it. No! Eric gets the shot, and Bear can't right-click fast enough. Oh, that could be doom. We'll see what froyotech does in the rest of this. They still have 4 players alive. It's a 4v4 at the moment, but nobody really looks like they want to get aggressive, so we'll see what this comes out of, but it's going to be an ad for Shade. I'm not sure exactly how much.
Yeah, quite a number of players died out there, and there are only 4 Velocity players in front of them right now. Which is kind of strange, because there's 5 Froyos that I count, and they're just not doing anything. And I don't think, yeah, Habib is still moving around, so we haven't hit that pause timer yet. In comes the bomb. It's a double soldier bomb, of course. Kryptonite is going to go down. Shade is pressured by Garbuglio, but he does not die that time. Already way pressed up is Eric. And they are going to cap this with relative ease and go straight into last with the Uber.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the percent is because Hunter's still broken, but this is looking like it should be a froyotech round. They're camping everybody on spawn. Up in spawn, Blaze is going to be capping this one. There's still 3 players. They're actually getting some frags on here, but Eric's going to walk into that point, cap it off, and froyotech going to make it 4-2 right now, and this is looking like the scary zone for Velocity. They need to change something in this second half.
And there's no Habib. So he has died right at the start of mid. So typically what you see a team do here is they're just not going to go to mid. Generally losing your demo at this juncture is no good. And it looks like Shade, they're at least going to like make an appearance at mid. And maybe even Banny's going to die.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he maybe didn't get the notice that they just weren't even going to go. They showed that they were still in the game server and then turned around. But Velocity's going all in. They're doing it, Cornpop. They don't care. Screw courtesy.
Well, Habib is back in now. Garbuglio is going to get taken down by Eric, though, as they're still pushing into second. Velocity are going to get the force out onto Shade as well, so this is going great for them. There is Scissor in behind, and he is going to lose his life to bot mode, so that's not ideal, but they're going to be standing on this point. They should be able to cap it off unless bot mode can bomb in. They are going to force the overcharge off finally, but Jarrett is just going to be saved by Bear. I can't believe he's alive. He had 2 scouts shooting at him, but Flash just in the moment's time. All right, not this time. Banny takes him down, and Bear with a nice surf, but not quite far enough. Does end up dying to Banny as he got that quick little shot. Shamu runs forward and doesn't get much. He's going to just die to Banny. So great play by Banny there. Actually got 4 kills in that, but Velocity, they are still lurking around. Look at Garbuglio. Oh no.
Here, let's see what's going to happen. He's bombing in. He's going to find a soldier and get destroyed.
Man, solo health from Shade. He's at 20 now, but he's had some regens. So Garbuglio had managed to just hit a little bit crisper rockets. I mean, they were nice rockets already, but Shade had that nice surf to get some distance and lower that damage, so he's going to be okay. We'll see now. froyotech looking to push into second. Velocity giving him a lot of respect. Shamu's actually in the forward spawn as sniper. I don't think he's revealed himself. Blaze is very low HP, standing right there. Shamu just a little bit too late to actually get a frag. And we'll see the fight is still going up here. Shamu did take that back spawn. Banny gets that uber charge popped off him. Does kill Kryptonite there as well, dying to bot mode. Garbuglio caught out way behind the enemy team. And I think this is going to be froyotech ending the game. We'll see Velocity. They only have 3 alive, but froyotech are taking their time getting in. They're going to find the frag on a Scissor because of it. Waiting for these respawns. Shamu, the last player. It's a white Marxist. They're going to cap this off. And Velocity leaving this game with 2 rounds on the board.
All right. So for those of you keeping score at home, next week, keep this one in your brains, if Feint can manage to do better than 5-2, then Velocity may not be going to invite playoffs.
Well,
they may get 0 cash monies.
The thing is, because Velocity have played the regular season a little bit worse than Feint Gaming, Feint already have a large lead in terms of rounds. So at this point, Velocity, because they only got 2 here, the round situation looks really bad. They basically kind of, at this point, I'm not even sure if they can get more rounds than Feint. I think they technically can, maybe,
if
but
they perhaps got 5-0'd.
Yeah,
process.
I think Feint has to get 5-0'd on like all their matches. But what they're really hoping for at this point, Velocity, is that they can beat Meat Market and Feint loses both their games, because that will put them ahead in wins. And at that point, rounds don't matter, Marxist. Whoever has the most wins will make that last playoff spot. Rounds are only coming into effect if they are tied on wins.
Well, there we have it. So let's look at these stats real quick before we wrap it up.
So looking at some damage, I see a 250, and that's the highest damage, obviously, because we had that pause. A little bit not that high, but Banny with 252, sitting in first place. Also first place on frags, 34. So he played really well this game. Shamu's frags faltered a little bit in terms of Banny's. He's only at 30, which is the 3rd highest on the server. Eric also beat him in that regard, but I still think good game from Shamu. I think he played the best on his team, but Banny and froyotech played a little bit better.
Yeah, to quote Enigma, I didn't lose. But yeah, so that will be the send-off for Garbuglio. If you are curious, yes, the damage per minute calculation continues for the duration of the pause. So as an advice, if you're having the legendary 500 DPM game and there is a pause, you can keep your legendary 500 DPM by logging out of the server as soon as the pause starts. And then you will keep your DPM. Unfortunately, you'll have to go through logging back into the server after the pause ends.
All for the stats. Stats are what matter anyways.
I have had a player on my team do that before. So,
okay.
Just keep that one in the back of your mind.
Just in case you're having the God game. Did he keep his 500 DPM?
When your player did this? 398.
That's still good. That's still really good. That's almost 400.
He blamed the pause because he got cold.
Yeah, I think otherwise, one Uber charge dropped a piece. I remember Bears, he just didn't right-click as a scout was chasing him. I think Shades was kind of the same situation, wasn't it? He just got shot by too many players at once and didn't right-click. Am I correct in that? Do you remember?
Well, Shade was being Shade tonight. Like, he went down to single-digit health at least 3 times and still didn't pop. So that number could have been a lot larger. He was tempting fate many, many times.
Yeah, I think Shade and Bear honestly both played really nice tonight. Bear, I have always admired his jukes, even if he hasn't been the smartest player or if he's, not the mechanically the best. I think his dodging skills are top tier from what I've seen of him, and he was doing pretty good tonight. Obviously, doubling Shade's deaths, so maybe I should have looked at the stats before I made that comment, but I still think he played well.
If you're still under 13, it wasn't an awful game.
Yeah.
If you go over 13 on the medic class in high level, something spectacular was happening.
But I think otherwise, Marxist, unless you have anything more to pull out of these stats, that is going to be the end of things for us tonight. froyotech taking it over Velocity eSports 5-2 in this match, and we will have a match tomorrow night as well. That's going to be Lunatic versus Meat Market, 2 of the bottom teams in the league. Lunatic looking for their first non-forfeit win, and Meat Market, if they want to even still technically have a chance, however unlikely, of making playoffs, they have to win that match. So, yeah, unless you got anything else to say, Marxist.
Nope, I'm pleased.
All right, well then my name has been Cornpop. Obviously, I've been casting with Marxist here tonight, and Nicell has been our wonderful producer here. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, Lunatic versus Meat Market, same time as always, 11 p.m. Eastern, and we'll see you next time.